Could every major person in power actually secretly be a lizard?
Have ancient cultures all over the world who are describing non-human entities in the unseen, which is almost what isn't unseen to the humans in the way that I've just described. Many taking a reptilian form.
Mysterious headline popped up on the internet that read, hundreds of fans claim they saw Justin Bieber turn into a giant reptile.
Times reported a story about a mining engineer who had been testing for mineral deposits when he came across a pattern of underground tunnels in the shape of a lizard.
Believes that the world is controlled by a race of 12-foot-tall, blood-sucking, shape-shifting alien reptilian human hybrids. That's a bold claim, and so
That's a question you've probably never asked and probably never knew that you needed to ask, but it is estimated that around 4% of the entire American population believes that all the major people in power are secretly lizards. Well, that doesn't sound like a lot, just 4%. But I did the math, and there's 350 million people in the United States of America. That means that around 14 million people in the U.S. believe that all the major people in power are secretly lizards, and that's just in America, not even the rest of the world. So there's actually a lot of people who believe in this, and while it may sound crazy, in this documentary we are going to get, down into business. We're going to look at the evidence, have interviews with people who may believe this, look at quotes, and it's going to be insane. So while watching this, I want everyone to keep an open mind and just, just maybe, your mind will be completely changed. Now let's get into this. Before we really get to invest in this theory, y'all need to know exactly, what it is, what they believe, and why they believe it in the first place, and is there evidence to support their theory? Basically, from what I understand, a long time ago, just like how on our planet, it is believed that, mammals came up with evolution and they became the dominant species, and then here we are on the earth, the most intelligent species by far, and we're kind of came up. But what if in another planet, far away, instead of mammals coming up, what if it was the reptiles who evolved enough to be the dominant species? What if they're more technological advanced than even we are? And what if a long time ago they came to our planet and just kind of enslaved us? But obviously if we knew we were enslaved, we would have rebelled, we would have, we wouldn't have liked being enslaved. So what, instead of telling us, they just became us, they started looking like us? Obviously they stayed at the top while we are at the bottom, thinking that people just like us, thinking about humans just like us, are actually the ones at the top. It sounds kind of unbelievable, just saying it, I get it, but when you think about it, it actually does make a little bit of sense. Basically, if Donald Trump, Barack Obama, a bunch of celebrities like Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, what if they're just in fact lizards pretending to be us and are actually in control of us, and we just don't know because they just don't want us to know? It sounds believable, unbelievable, but and when I told people that I was making this documentary, the biggest thing they had is they're I don't think anyone actually believes that. But there's this guy named David Ike who I have actually reached out to, and as of filming this right now, he has not responded, but he believes in the lizard conspiracy theory, and he's actually a very big proponent of it, and he gives speeches about it, and on these speeches the crowds total to thousands of people listening to this man talk about how the earth might actually be inhabited by lizard people. And there's actually another theory that inside the core of the earth, inside earth, there's actually billions of lizard people. And every once in a while some of them will come out pretending to look like us, and they're just among us right now. Maybe some people viewing this video are lizard people, and obviously it sounds really ridiculous, but there are so many people, like I said before, 4% of America believes this theory. That is 14 million people, and that's not even counting the rest of the world and the rest of the countries. So there is a pretty big amount of people that do believe in this. And while it may sound crazy, we are going to sit with some of them in just a few seconds, and we are going to basically ask them why they believe it, ask them if they have any like evidence for it, and basically just sit down and try to understand why these people believe that there are actually lizards among us. And I do ask that while you watch this, and I'm going to do the same thing, let's keep an open mind, let's hear these people out, and let's just decide if maybe they're right. There's really no way to really know. So I guess we're all gonna hopefully learn a little bit, and if they are wrong, maybe we can, basically we just need to know why they believe what they do, especially since, well, it's not like most people believe it, but a pretty significant fraction do, and we just need to figure out why and what we can do, and maybe we're the ones wrong after all. Anyway, let's sit down with them and see what they have to say. Okay, so obviously I don't believe in lizard people, and that's something that I probably would never really believe in unless this documentary goes a way I'm not really expecting it to. But to make the best documentary possible, and to make an unbiased documentary, and to really get into what it means to believe in lizard people and what it really is, because while I do, I know the theory, I've studied it pretty well obviously for this documentary, but I need to talk to someone who actually believes in it. And I figured that'd be really hard. I reached out because I originally was going to do like a Skype interview with someone like from the internet, so I went on like Reddit and I found some people, sent a few messages. And then when I announced that I was, making this documentary, I got a message from someone that's in my, my class, and he was like, "Hey, I actually do believe in lizard people." And I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Do you mind if I interview you, and then we can kind of figure out your perspective on this theory, and really more information than I can really give?" And he said he was down for an interview. I have a bunch of questions, prepared. And I've also got a bunch of questions from like people I know. So I feel like this can be a really good interview. And I'm actually kind of wondering what he has to say. Because, I looked into the technical aspects of the theory. And I tried to find evidence, which I found a bunch of like videos. The thing is, the videos are often proven like false. And then like some have like other explanations they can have. And really obviously, it's really hard to know exactly, but like celebrities, like influential figures, like their eyes slanting, stuff like that. But anyway, so I reached out, and he's actually coming in just a few minutes, and we're going to be sitting down. I'm going to be asking him the questions I provided. He'll be giving me the answers to the best of his ability, and I really want to know where he goes with it. Hopefully I can find other people to do interviews too. But really the thing about this is that, if this documentary is going to get views, obviously, I hope so. I know I will at least get some, but the thing is, if let's say a bunch of people watched it, it's not like it's easy for someone to go out there and be like, I believe something that no one else would really even consider, even like think it could be true. So I'm kind of impressed that he was willing to like publicly, especially since we're in the same class, so a lot of our classmates are going to watch, this documentary. So I'm really impressed, and hopefully I end up learning something, and like y'all end up learning something, and you never know, maybe his ideas aren't as ridiculous as they seem to be. I'm actually really curious to see what he has to say. Anyway, so he's about to sit down. Things are going to get really crazy. Hopefully we all learn something. What's up, everyone? So I'm here with...
I'm Mitchell.
Yeah, and you do believe in lizard people.
150%.
That's a lot. So basically, I have a lot of questions, obviously, and then I had some other people who gave me some questions to ask you, and we're kind of just gonna ask, and everyone's gonna be open-minded, and we're gonna basically, because like you are in the minority. Like most people don't believe in lizard people.
I'm like drenched in minority right now.
Yeah, exactly. But okay. Why do you believe in lizard people?
Why do you not believe in lizard people?
Well,
that's my point right there.
But like, there's no reason to, is
Everyone
there?
wants me to play defense. I'm playing offense today.
Okay. So like, basically, give some like examples of people who you think are lizards.
I think Hillary Clinton's a lizard.
Okay.
I think Donald Trump's a lizard. I think every president we have is a lizard.
Do you think that they're pre-selected to be president?
I think it's their destiny. That's determined by their higher command of lizardness.
Okay. If I understand correctly, lizard people are actually an alien race, right?
Absolutely.
Is that the type of lizard people you believe in?
You know what? I think they crash landed here. And
So you don't think they purposely came here?
No. But then again, destiny.
It was
You
their
never
destiny.
know. They could have been put on that ship by their higher command to make all this happen. So you know what?
Okay. So I did hear that some people believe that on this planet, basically with evolution, like instead of mammals become the dominant race, it was mammals and lizard people, and that it wasn't aliens. Do you think that's a possibility, or are you like 100% on the aliens?
I'm pretty sure, I think evolution could have happened. I think they may have been a smaller race.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think they came on their mother alien ship?
Absolutely. That's why we didn't notice the crash. Or maybe it was before documentation. But then again, there would have been more written glyphs about it.
Yeah, because I actually read online about like I saw like cave paintings and everything, like UFOs and like you know, there's that thing with Egypt.
Absolutely.
Do you think that could have been like the lizard
That
people
could have been
coming
them.
here?
I think when they crashed here. I think that they crashed here and they had to adapt because they were in an all new
So
territory.
that's why they look like us.
That's why they look like us.
Because-
but then again, they could have been chameleons.
Oh, so like that actually makes sense. How they that actually makes sense because that's how like
That's how they change
They would
shape.
change
They
into
evolved
us.
from changing colors to changing form.
that actually makes a little bit of sense. I mean, I'm not like completely down with the idea, but I can kind of see where you're coming from a little bit. If I can get to the next question, are there any other conspiracy theories that you believe in?
I shouldn't tell you this because you know what?
What?
It's not.
Is it dangerous?
It could be. I don't think the word of it wants to get out, and they may come for you, and they may come for me, but there are some things in this world that need to be said, and I am willing to be that, that voice. Are you ready?
A little bit.
Are you
Okay.
sure?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
2 breaths. Take 2, take 2 breaths.
Okay, so like
Take 2 breaths.
Oh, I like
Give
this
yourself
brass.
a-
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Jar Jar Binks could be a Sith Lord.
Oh, hold on! I actually heard about that theory. That Jar Jar Binks is Sith Lord. That actually, I do 100% believe in that theory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He could be a freaking Sith Lord.
Okay, I have to admit, that was not at all what I was expecting you to say. I expected you to say, I don't know, but
Dogs or cats.
yeah, like. Okay, I'm not saying like, you know, lizard people, like, okay, to me it's hard to believe just because, you know, I've never really
It's okay.
been okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Do you believe the Earth is flat? Dude, come back. No, this wasn't a question for
I
me.
am not a
This was-
conspiracy theorist.
You believe in lizard people?
That's logic.
Okay. Do you have any evidence of lizard people?
The internet never lies.
The internet
Never lies.
does lie occasionally.
It tells unknown falses.
And that lies?
They don't know.
Okay. What would you like our audience to know about lizard people believers? Because, like, the thing is, most people watching this have probably never met someone like you who believes in lizard people.
Absolutely.
What would you say to them? Like, if they ever meet someone that's a lizard person, what do they, like, need to know? What should they know?
Proceed with caution.
Are y'all dangerous?
Who isn't dangerous?
So, like, isn't that like a lesson for every kind of person?
After this camera ends, the world will know.
Is that okay? Now, this one is a question that I actually had.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of curious on this. Do you believe that there's any possibility that you yourself could be a lizard person? Or, like, I could be a lizard person. Like, could we literally have changed and not know?
It's okay, brother. It's okay.
So, So yes. So basically yes.
Maybe.
So there is a possibility that you could be a lizard and not know it. So like
Maybe. I don't know.
So like it
If
kind
I
of.
don't know, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely. Then again, you could be in the same boat as me.
So there's a possibility that I'm a lizard.
Absolutely.
So anyone really could just be a lizard and not know.
That's the point.
Okay, that actually makes this theory way darker when you think about it. Because I just thought it was like, you know, the lizards are basically enslaving us or selected us, and like yeah.
But again, we don't know.
Yeah, I guess there's really no way to know. It's like if, you know, lizard people exist, not like in front of you or anything. But that's kind of like something really interesting to think about, that like any of us could be lizards and just not know. Because like, especially if you look at it from like an evolutionary like standpoint, if they would have like, you know, risen up and
Conquered.
yeah, like
Dominated.
they just adapted into us. It's kind of
Surpassed us.
now that's scary. That like, you know, because we're always taught in like science
Who
and
knows?
everything.
They could have made the Matrix.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. You believe in the Matrix?
We don't know.
So like, okay, so that's kind of.
I believe in possibilities.
Okay, so is that why you would say you're a lizard theory conspiracist? I'm sorry, that was way wrong. Is that maybe why you believe in, you know, lizard people? Because like you are basically open to everything. You don't think you could ever really know?
Absolutely 150%.
Okay, I can kind of understand where you're coming from now. And I saw a video of Justin Bieber being interviewed. And he was sitting in front of the camera. And he's been asked questions, and you can see like his eyes slant like a lizard's was, and then go back to normal. And like, I was watching that, it kind of tripped me up a little bit. Do you think that was just like, you know, the camera making a mistake?
You very well likely could be.
Yeah, because like, okay, so do you think, because, you know, people basically, like, when I was looking into it, they were saying it was just like a problem with like the lighting and everything. Do you believe that is a possibility, or is it
I think he is a lizard.
Why? What advantage would they have of making like
It's the
singers
only way
lizards?
his crappy music could become popular. He infects the brain. It's an evolutionary trait that they could have, you know,
Adopted, yeah. I mean,
just like Selena Gomez.
wait, hold on.
Ariana Grande.
So you think Ariana Grande is a lizard?
If I'm holding up to my old theory of, you know, crappy modern artists getting their content to be popular, that's the
Is it
only
because
explanation.
the media is like,
They're lizards.
it can affect our brain, really? Because like what we think is based off the media, you think it's the lizard people are controlling it? That is actually... Okay, so I don't believe in lizard people. And like, I've said it from the beginning that I'm doing this documentary just because I want to get to know people that do. I want to get to know the theory. I want to like put it out in the world because I think it's something that's very interesting.
Absolutely.
Do you care that I don't believe in lizard people myself?
I care about as much as Harry Potter cared not to get into Slytherin.
I've never seen Harry Potter. So I don't really know what that means. Yes, okay. Wait, so you're mad at me for not believing in lizard people?
I'm not mad.
Okay, so basically, when you reached out to me and said you wanted to be in this documentary.
For the greater good, I might add.
It's for the greater good. But I was, you know, obviously a lot of people are going to watch this. Our classmates will probably watch this.
All too.
We have a lot of like physical.
Yeah.
Are you worried that they're gonna like make fun of you for it or like not like your opinion?
I have nothing to lose at this point.
Basically, like let's say lizard people do exist, and let's say you're a human, not a lizard. That means the lizard people have enslaved us and are pretending to be us just to keep us in line. Does that not, like, as a human, like in this situation, does that bother you any?
It's not ideal.
Yeah, because like they literally enslaved us.
But you have to think, like I've been saying, The bigger picture is at stake. Us humans are feeble, weak creatures, and we need to be put into our place.
Okay, that was dark. So
Viva la revolution!
So basically, you think that we are weak, and the
I know we are weak.
and the lizard and the lizard people basically have the right to enslave us.
Natural selection, my brother.
Okay, I guess I can kind of okay. The thing is,
We are like cattle to a farmer to them.
does that not bother you?
They could be using us for the greater good. Farmers use their cattle for milk and meat to distribute for a profit to better everyone's life. I will be happy to be that cow.
So you think that, and once again, I'm not trying to offend you or anything. I'm just trying to
It's okay.
get your point across. You think they're using us
I
to
wouldn't
make
say
a profit,
using.
or
I'd say enlightening us.
do you think it's better for us with the lizard people, or do you think it would have been better if, let's say, we weren't enslaved and it was us in charge? Do you think that would have been better?
That's unknown. It could be, but then again, we're weak. We are feeble.
but
do we want to infect a superior race?
but they infected us.
They made us better.
If they exist, once again, I don't think they exist. I'm just trying to, I want to get the theory across the best way possible. And if they do exist, then they've kind of infected us and taken us over. And I guess we're weak, but wouldn't they be the ones who made us weak?
I think they're letting us live out our ignorance for a reason.
What's the reason?
You just asked the number one question.
Wait, so hold on. It's kind of like the why are we here question.
Exactly. What's the purpose of life? Why is it worth living?
To please the lizards, I guess. Oh wow. So what was the reason you wanted to do the documentary the most? What encouraged you to come forward? Because we've been in the same class for months now. You've never once mentioned that you believe in lizard people, and I've actually I'd say I know you pretty well. We talk most class, and and how come this has never came up? This has never been a thing, basically. And what made you want to come forward, basically, with your ideas?
Some things are better to keep quiet until absolutely needed. Until the actual genuine strive yearns you to, get it out, to go forward with it.
Yeah.
I waited for that strive. I waited until it infected and overthrew my every sense to come through and go with this so that I can be a greater part in the big picture for our lords.
Wait, hold on. So, the lizards are God to you.
In the same sense that my parents are parents, the lizards are my gods. They are a fatherly, a motherly, a paternal, a maternal figure to help bring us up, you could say, enlighten and encourage. They can be the pat on your back, but they can also be the disciplining hand that spanks you.
I want to know if, let's say, somehow they 100% proved that lizard people don't exist and there's only people. What would that change in your life? And would you be upset or happy?
Nothing.
It wouldn't change anything in your life.
You have to think of it like this. What if they don't want to be discovered? What if they don't want to get their word out quite yet? What if they prefer working in the shadows? So, who's to say that they're not the scientists trying to debunk themselves?
Well, hold on. So you think that there are lizard people, and there's a possibility they don't even know, like...
No, they know.
But they're trying to debunk
They
themselves.
don't want us to know. They want to keep us ignorant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any conspiracy theories that you don't believe in, like think are like completely crazy?
Well, obviously the Earth is round.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Also, there's a very big influential figure in the lizard people community named David Ike. Obviously, you already know this.
Absolutely. I totally do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, David Ike.
Wonderful Mr. Ike.
He fills up stadiums of thousands of people listening to the lizard people basically teachings. And he is so big in the community. I reached out to him in an email and tried to get a statement from him. He has not, as of this recording, responded.
Mm-hmm.
But if he does respond, what do you think he should say? Do you think it's a good thing I'm making this documentary? Do you think it's a bad thing?
I think it's a noble sacrifice.
Wait, hold on. Am I gonna die for making this documentary? Is there a for real possibility if lizard people exist that I would die?
Maybe if you've said too much, pointed too many fingers in the wrong direction.
Okay, guys. If I die at any point after this filming in the next 3 years, lizard people definitely exist. Or maybe Mitch killed me. But
maybe.
Oh wow. I'm starting to wish there was people in this room. So I guess that's kind of all my questions. Is there any questions you have for me?
Why have you forsaken us,
I
brother?
I haven't forsaken anyone. It's just
Your ignorance.
to me the
Your
concept.
naivety.
It's just
It's adorable.
to me it doesn't sound believable to me.
It's okay.
But anyway, thank you so much for this interview. Okay. I guess I'll see you in class. I hope everyone
Maybe.
learned a little. I hope everyone learned a little something and.
Investigate 311.
Whoa. Alright, this is crazy. Okay, so after interviewing Mitch, I can kind of see, weirdly, I can kind of see where he's coming from and how he, for what he said, it's kind of about questioning everything. But what really surprises me is, the sheer number of people who do believe in this theory. And I decided, obviously I don't know every reptilian humanoid believer, but what I can do is go on the internet. So I decided to do a little bit more research and look into testimonials, and I found a story about a guy who actually has he saw a reptilian humanoid in person. So I decided to kind of read the story. He goes, when I was in my dad's car when he got a random call. It was one of his close friends explaining how the night before he saw a reptilian humanoid. After the call, my dad explained that his friends heard a loud bang outside at night, and when he went outside he saw a reptilian figure / human body figure. His friend wanted to shoot, but he thought that if he shot the reptilian, would be resistant and would attack him. He also was scared at the same time, so he also didn't want to shoot because of that. This happened in Arizona yesterday night, and I was just so interested that I had to make a Reddit post. I just want to see if anyone else has a similar experience or just questions I can answer. And he pretty much did. He went and kind of just answered questions all the time. And the thing is, there's a lot of these stories where people have firsthand, seen people humans, but that resemble reptiles, reptile-like humans. It's kind of insane by the sheer number of testimonies. But the thing is, there's no when you look down to it, while there is evidence, there's nothing really hardcore about the evidence. There's nothing that just is completely unfathomable. And when I asked Mitch yesterday about the evidence and the interview, he couldn't really give any except like, why would you not believe it? Like stuff like that, which, you know, obviously when you think about it, it's not that I was really expecting much evidence, but it's kind of like, it's kind of amazing how many people have testimonies saying that they saw these figures and everything. It's kind of shocking, but like the most shocking statistic to me is how I mentioned that 14 million people in the United States believe in lizard people. There's actually a lot more people who are open to the idea and like open to the fact that lizard people could exist. And I can kind of understand the thought patterns, especially after speaking to him yesterday. And I'm kind of surprised by this, because I kind of expected it to be like really bizarre and these people would be really bizarre, but they seem just like normal people. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, like I said, there's like the internet is filled with these theories, which, you know, obviously, you know, y'all can Google it for yourselves, but in the description of this video, I will have a link where you can kind of like, you know, basically my links like to a few stories, and like one link, the first one, would be to like 10 stories that, you know, it's on Listverse, which like I've read it through myself, and they're all like extremely interesting, but it's just, they're everywhere. Like sightings are everywhere, and like it makes sense why there would be so many stories considering this like theory is so popular, but the sightings are just everywhere. And I feel like that kind of does add a little bit to the theories, kind of like ghosts, for instance. Like if you believe in ghosts or not, a lot of people that do are like because of how many people who have seen them, and it kind of like can make sense with this. But what I don't understand, like the big part, is that the reptilians are supposed to look just like us, you know, like they're supposed to have adapted to us, but obviously some haven't, like from this theory standpoint, and it's just insane to think about. But yeah, after talking to Mitch yesterday, I was surprised because I expected believers of this theory to be crazy, which is why I didn't even think about trying to find out if I know people who believe in reptilian people. I decided, you know, to go online, and I was planning on like finding people there. But yeah, I was like insanely surprised, just because like the people who I've talked to like online and the people, you know, obviously that I interviewed for the documentary, I was just surprised because they're normal. Like they seem like normal people who are just questioning things, and who would just for some reason believe that us people are actually reptiles. And while I believe in this theory myself? No. Do I believe it might be possible? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, that's the thing. It's definitely a possibility, and it kind of does make a little bit of sense. My question to you is, now that you've watched this video, and that you've seen me talk to someone who believes in this, and you know, if you go in the description and read the stories, you'll learn even more about it. But my question is, do you believe that there is a possibility that, you know, maybe, just maybe, there are reptiles among us? Anyway, I guess, you know, in the comment section, let me know what you think, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.